Once upon a time, when the Pyara region was young, a songstress wandered the land in search of new songs.
Hi, and welcome to episode 15 of my series about the Pyara region, a fakemon region inspired by Pakistan. As promised, this episode is about more legendary Pokémon, and for the next bunch of legendaries, I thought it'd be fun to actually write a fable about them. You'll hear it throughout this episode, and I imagine if this was an actual game, you'd find this legend in a library or something. Conceptually, there are a lot of moving parts of this quartet, so I'll try and keep things concise. So, an idea I thought could be fun was a legendary quartet made up of long-lost fourth members of existing legendary trios. I picked groups that haven't already received new members, which left me with the legendary birds, beasts, lake guardians, and the swords of justice. Keldeo doesn't count for this because it's a mythical, and was introduced in the same gen as the others. Then I thought, hey, we've got a bird, a bigger carnivoran, a small cutesy creature, and an ungulate. That just so happens to vaguely correspond to another group of animals in folklore, the town musicians of Bremen. The tale is about a group of outcasts coming together in spite of and because of their differences, which feels like a pretty good narrative hook for a legendary quartet. Okay, enough farting around, let's get to the actual Pokémon.
By the side of a mighty mountain, the songstress encountered an elderly sage. Greeting him, she said, "Hello friend, do you have a song you could share with me?"
Starting off, here's the rock-flying Rocuatro. I imagine this missing member of the legendary birds used to live in Mount Moon, but was driven out by increasing human activity around the mountain. Visually, it's based on the Shoebill stork, which has an intimidating presence that works well for a rocky rock. The Shoebill also has a very distinctive call, making a unique clattering noise with its beak that kinda sounds like a machine gun. Kinda works with the whole musical theme this quartet has going for it.
The sage sighed and said, "I am old, and my songs have no place in this world anymore." The songstress laughed and said, "Old songs show us where we've been, and can guide us to where we want to go. So you sing, and I'll dance." In a beautiful green glade, she encountered a young prince. Once again, she asked for a song.
Next up, we have the grass-type Shizenja. I imagine this legendary beast was an unintended side effect of the revival magic that created Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, being born from the greenery that grew from the rubble of the burnt tower when it was imbued with background Ho-Oh radiation. I know the legendary beasts are more feline than canine, but for the whole Bremen thing, Shizenja needed to be a dog, so I thought I'd make it a canine with some very feline characteristics. A fox.
The prince sighed and said, "My songs are too new, and have no place in this world yet." The songstress laughed and said, "New songs challenge us and reveal new things about ourselves. So you sing, and I'll dance." By a great lake, she encountered a peculiar child. Once again, she asked for a song.
Next up is the psychic-type Zemlin. I imagine this little guy was formerly the guardian of Send-Off Spring, Sinnoh's secret fourth lake and the location of Turnback Cave, Giratina's home away from home. Send-Off Spring is said to be where the deceased begin their journey to the other side, so Zemlin is a little spookier than its siblings to reflect this. Where Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf gave humanity the capacity for memory, emotion, and willpower respectively, Zemlin gave humans the capacity to feel fear. Obviously a very useful gift, but one that humans were naturally terrified of, which caused poor Zemlin to be driven from the lake it protects to the Pyara region. Zemlin's colour fits with the CMYK pattern established by the other guardians. Azelf is cyan, Mesprit is magenta, Yuxi is yellow, and now Zemlin is black. Its name also combines a personal pronoun and a fantasy creature like the others. You, pixie, me, spirit, us, elf, and them, gremlin.
The child sighed and said, "My songs are scary and frightened people into driving me from my home." The songstress laughed and said, "Being afraid is part of being alive, and by embracing fear, we can learn to understand it. So you sing, and I'll dance." The songstress continued her travels, but was suddenly attacked by an outlaw who threatened her with a sword.
Finally, we have the dark fighting Stygion. While the other Swords of Justice are based on the Three Musketeers, Stygion is based on Milady de Winter, the femme fatale ex-wife of leader Athos, an enemy of the Musketeers. I thought it would be fun to have a renegade Sword of Justice, considering the existing backstory for the group as defenders of the natural order. Maybe they had a falling out about how best to combat human greed and selfishness, which caused Stygion to strike out as a lone warrior. The name comes from Stygian, which means very dark, and the eon suffix that all the non-mythical Swords of Justice have in their names.
The outlaw growled, "Hand over your valuables. I want your money, not your life. but I'll take both if I need to." The songstress replied, "I don't have much money, but we could trade. I'll give you the songs I've learned today if you give me a song of yours." Impressed with the songstress's bravery, the outlaw said, "Very well, but your songs had better be good, or I'll cut you down for wasting my time." So the songstress sang. The sage's song reminded the outlaw of the love and loss she had endured, loosening the grip on her blade. The princess song offered the outlaw a glimpse of a world filled with fresh possibilities, causing her steely glare to fade. And the child's song invited the outlaw to confront the fear in her heart, bringing her to her knees. Eyes full of tears, the outlaw said, "The tunes I know are steeped in strife and pain, and have no place in this world." The songstress laughed and said, "Putting a voice to your pain can help you overcome it, and help others overcome theirs too. So you sing, and I'll dance." And so they did. Content with the friends she made and the music she discovered, the songstress returned to her home, leaving Pyara with wonderful melodies. Some say that if you listen carefully, you can still hear the sage, prince, child and outlaw singing, awaiting the songstress's return.
That's all for this episode. The question for this episode is, what's your favourite legendary Pokemon group? Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time for the last Pokemon in the Pyara Dex. Okay, that was the story of the songstress. What did you think? Why didn't the outlaw just kill the songstress and take her money? Is she stupid? Interesting. What are the lore implications of this story? I think it could just be a story about the power art has to transcend our differences and bring people together. I could be wrong though. I don't know why I bother.